Так. Привет, привет, Маш, привет. Так, мне нужно проверить одну тему. Так, 3 секунды, 3 секунды, 3 секунды, 3 секунды. Нормально, работаем. Поехала, поехала, родимая. Подпольный готов. Ой, они в этот раз записали ролик, они не стали вот это вот ебаться с этими стримами. Так, миллионы из вас играют в Хартстоун. Мы хотим сказать спасибо.
Today, we're going to be talking about what's next for Hearthstone and our exciting plans for the future. But before we do, let's take a quick look back. The Year of the Dragon saw more content.
Чуть посмотрим назад.
We've had 3 great expansions, a huge amount of awesome PvE content.
Очень интересно. 3 новых дополнения.
Multiple large-scale live events, and last but not least, the introduction of a brand new way to play in Battlegrounds. With the climactic ending of the year-long battle between the League of Explorers and the League of Evil just behind us, it is time for something new to rise. The year of the Phoenix.
Год Феникса! Вау! Неожиданно получается.
First, let's talk
Больше
about
наград.
We want the
Поговорим про
opening
паки.
card packs to be as exciting and rewarding as possible. And when you have more cards, you'll have more options to have fun. So coming with the first expansion of the year, duplicate protection will now apply across all rarities. What this means is that you will no longer receive more than 2 copies of any common, rare, or epic card from a pack until you have owned 2 copies of every card of that rarity from that set.
Чего?
We're really happy with this change, and we hope you will be too. We've also heard a lot of feedback.
Типа теперь будет больше, чем одна редкая стабильно в колоде или что? Я не понял. Я ничего не понял, чат, объясните. Нет повторов как с легами. То есть теперь и обычные карты тоже повторяться не будут. Все-таки не разрешили? Да, не разрешили. Точнее, просто не было никакой инфы про это. Я спросил у Дроуда, он сказал, что никто не знает. Ой, как интересно! Так.
There's a huge amount of content coming in the Year of the Phoenix. During each standard expansion phase, there'll be at least one major event, like the Fire Festival, free PvE content, and significant updates to Battlegrounds.
Но зеленый уже понятно, это Илидан, это Илидан, это Илидан. Я уже 100% знаю, что это Илидан.
During phase 1, we're updating our ranked systems for Standard and Wild.
Ля, не посмотри, какой у них этот самый план на этот год. Ля, рамочки, легендарный платиновый ранг. Да неужели? Новый игровой мод. Это в третьем. Ачивки и прогресс, да ладно! Да ладно! Ебать там!
They'll be revealing our next expansion, Hall of Fame changes, quality of life updates, and providing more information on some of the content and systems that we've revealed for the first phase of the Year of the Phoenix. Right now, we have one last secret to reveal, and I hope you're prepared for what's next.
Сколько лет ждали, но это только в конце этого года будет.
There's a darkness in the garden of the
погромче.
Casting shadows even blacker than the night. There's a prisoner walking free who still envisions what could be. Though long ago he sacrificed his sight.
Ох, опять мрачное дополнение, какой балдеж!
And a savior who's been shunned, who's tasted of a love that cannot be. They're all one and the same, and the worlds all fear my name. The hero that you never thought you'd see.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Year of the Phoenix Showcase. I am Brian Kibler, joined by Dinaela and Chad Nervig from the Hearthstone team. Thank you very much to Ben Lee for the introduction and a lot of stuff to talk about today, huh guys?
Они реально записали это заранее. Они поняли, что каждый год они обсираются с этой трансляцией, у них вечно то нету звука, то еще чего-то, и они наконец-то сделали нормально. Они просто записали заранее это.
Yeah, he is, and a lot more here today to talk about as well. So first off, let's run through all the topics we have to talk about today. We're going to be talking about the Demon Hunter class, not just an Illidan hero, a whole new class for Hearthstone.
Новый класс.
Updates, major priest changes coming, new rank system, a reveal of the new expansion, and then going to get a chance to play some Demon Hunter as well.
Новая ранговая система.
Yeah. So let's just jump into it. I know everyone probably at home is like, okay, oh my god, Illidan, Demon Hunter. Talk us through this. This is Hearthstone's first new class. Why this? Why now?
Yeah, we've been talking about should we do a new class?
Так, секунду, чат еще раз.
Which new class for like
Я просто параллельно еще записываю, и да, я проверяю, чтобы запись шла. Я хочу на второй канал залить.
We have been working on class identities, solidifying the strengths and weaknesses of each of our classes so that we have room, a place to put Demon Hunter and create something really novel.
Бля, у них такие картишки прикольные.
So what is that place that you really see Demon Hunter having, right? Because of course there's already, you know, all the classes in Hearthstone, they have kind of each their own place. What's Demon Hunter's place? Where do they fit in?
Well, our main touchstone here is Illidan, right? Illidan is aggressive, in your face. Demon Hunters are brutal, furious attackers that are just there to dive right into
in your
battle.
face, ну вы поняли.
And you know the sort of identity of Illidan, you know who he is, kind of his story and everything. How do you take that and turn that into, you know, functionally a Hearthstone class?
Well, we're trying to deliver on this unique gameplay experience. I think the first place that we should talk about is their hero power. I'm sure you just want to dive in and get to seeing things. So let's just do that. Let's just start talking about some cool Demon Hunter stuff. So their hero power is Demon Claws, +1 attack this turn.
I'm not excited. That's like a druid hero power, but worse. Why is this what you're telling me? This is the big cool new thing.
Все-таки обилка будет такая.
Okay. All right, we
вот
see
они,
right
вот они,
there.
за одну ману.
Definitely only 1 mana baseline.
All right, so he's going to show up his brother right there.
Sombra, делай скрины и заливай в паблик.
You get some armor, sure, but I'm going to hit you. I only pay the 1. Okay, so how did you get to this being the hero power?
Ну, сам, кстати, арт прикольный.
We tried a lot of different things here, but ultimately we wanted to deliver on Demon Hunters being like in your face, constantly attacking.
Типа вот здесь сзади на фоне он не очень прикольный, а вот там прям прикольный, он такой прям дерзкий.
We've also got spells and weapons also on Demon Hunter.
This sounds like you're gonna show me some spells and weapons. Sure. That's what everyone wants to see at home, right?
Yeah. I think when we're making a new class, the thing that we always come back to is like, what is the thing that makes this class feel unique to the other classes? How is it different than Rogue? How is it different than Warlock? Because there's some thematic similarities from the other classes, but mechanically.
Напишите там человеку, что он поставил изначальное качество. Нет, за одну ману это реально, ну, многие недооценивают то, что она одну ману стоит. Это очень много, на самом
деле. In your face all the time, using weapons and all kinds of stuff. So
you just show your opponent how it's going to be turn 1. Let's go, punch you in the face.
Yeah, right away. It's a little bit actually jarring in playtesting.
Они реально добавили еще один сморк класс.
You're getting hit in the face like right away.
Как будто нам так мало.
You're already ahead. What's going on here?
Really sets the tone for the game.
So let's look at a couple ways that they can attack.
All right,
we talked about their hero power, but let's also take a look at Chaos Strike. Chaos Strike is a simple, basic spell for Demon Hunter.
Ой, где-то я это уже видел.
And draws a card. Card draw is also a strength of theirs.
Okay, so comparing this to, say, a warrior, right? And crucially, just looking at this, not only does it give you the 2 attack but your hero power adds to whatever attack you have.
Yeah.
So it's much like kind of a heroic strike out of warrior. You can use it alongside a weapon, for instance. But with the card draw, you were saying the Demon Hunter is much more about like not necessarily big hits, but just constant attacking. They get to keep sort of churning through their deck, finding more tools to help them in that onslaught.
Very agile. Yeah.
I think one of the important things to note about Chaos Strike is that it is a basic card. So just like Fireball for Mage, for example, is they're spell slingers and they do a lot of things that deal with dealing damage with spells. And they have cards like Sorcerer's Apprentice that take advantage of casting a bunch of spells. Whereas Demon Hunter, in their base set, they're going to have a lot of things that allow them to attack.
Yeah.
And a lot of things
Okay.
So let's look at another way to attack. Let's look at a weapon.
All right.
Let's see Umberwing. Umberwing is this great early game weapon. 2 mana, 1/2, but it also
за 2 маны 1/2 боевой клич призывает каких-то 1/1 челиков.
Muster for battle, right? Like one of the really powerful cards that Paladin had in their
Это хорошая карта, потому что за 3 маны чувак там есть, который 3/1, и когда ты трейдишь какое-то, твое существо, если умирает, по-моему, демон, или, возможно, неважно, он наносит 3 урона. И вот с этой пушкой он будет работать просто как, 10 из 10. Да это и так, за 2 маны, типа 2 существа саманишь, еще и пушку получаешь, а пушка комбится с твоей обилкой. То есть это темп. Причем неплохой темп. Пусть она там и 1-2, нажал обилку уже 2-2. Короче, нормально.
We also have built these sort of synergy cards. So let's take a look at Stator Overseer. Stator Overseer is
когда ты атакуешь, призывает 2/2 сатира.
And say combine this with Umberwing, right? You have the Umberwing on turn 2, get a couple of 1/1s. You then have that weapon already in play. You play this guy on turn 3, you attack again. Now you have just a board full of stuff, and you're picking apart your opponent's board. That seems really powerful.
But suppose you didn't draw your Umberwing.
Да, ты пушку поставил на второй ход, на третий ход поставил по темпу этого челика, сыграл, призвал 2/2 сатира. У тебя еще так 4/2 сатир стоит, это вообще, конечно, лютая хрень.
Twin Slice is 0 mana, gain 1 attack, and add a second copy of this.
Дает одну атаку и дает в руку копию этой карты.
Maybe similar to a backstab sort of thing. But just very versatile, flexible.
That card, I think, is the sort of thing where you look at it and it's like, okay, yeah, this doesn't do that much, but then you think about it, it's like, oh, it costs 0. This is kind of like a backstab that if you just use it twice, it's 2 damage to something. You obviously have to attack it too, but can add up and with all these attack triggers,
удар в спину, типа, только более гибкий, ты можешь им просто в лицо ебашить.
It was a card that we talked about setting the power level of and wanting it to be in a place where it was quite powerful, because it really does set the tone for what we want.
Я Демон Хантер хожу в лицо.
Like I'm talking about kind of being an aggressive attacker. There's also like a bunch of different ways to use it. You look at a card like
сложно.
That's just kind of 2 cards, right? And being able to utilize a lot of different weapons that we're going to talk about a little bit later. So there's lots of different ways to utilize Twin Slice. You're going to be seeing a bunch of it.
Anything that costs 0 has got to be, okay, this is you got to think about it. Right, it's 2 cards that cost 0 in 1 card. So.
Тля, уже оформление в паблике поменено. Хорош. Хорош.
So this is an adorable Murloc, first of all.
Опа, Мурлок. Furious Fellfish. За 2 маны 3/2, боевой клич.
Yeah, 4/2 rush for 2 is very strong.
То есть, если вы атаковали, получает насиск и плюс 1 к атаке, хуя себе. Зачем? Зачем они такую глину добавляют? Зачем? Я не понимаю ход близов, типа... Все орут про то, что агра, пиздец, невозможно играть. Одни агрессивные классы, одна доминация агрессивных колод. И они добавляют целый класс, который построен на том, что он просто глина ебаная. Просто с самого начала. У него все карты просто... Мы в какие-то разные... Я не понимаю, мы в какие-то разные игры играем или что? Почему не добавить какой-то суперконтрольный класс? Почему, блядь, это ебаная глина?
So we're not gonna have Demon Hunters doing a ton of like huge bursts of large.
Бля, это охотник и рога с добором и хилом просто. Они просто взяли Гул'дана, взяли обилку у друида, демонов от Гул'дана, агрессию от Ханта и темп от роги. И добавили еще хила туда. Ёбаный в рот просто.
But being able to stack all these additional weapon buffs, including your hero power on top of a lifesteal weapon, can really sustain you as you're attacking into minions.
You can like turn Chaos Strike into 2 additional healing.
Пиздец просто пиздец, что это? Просто жесть. Да за что?
Take a lot of resources, but if you really are looking for that, if you're really getting low on life, you have that option.
Это новый дизайн в паблике, конечно, 10 из 10.
Soul Cleave. Another cleave type spell, deal some damage and lifesteal it back.
Okay, so another kind of weakness we see in Rogue, if we're sort of comparing, okay, how did this attacking class compare to this attacking class? Rogue doesn't really have much AoE, right? It seems like that's something that will be in the kit for Demon Hunter.
You'll see there is a fair bit of AoE for Demon Hunter.
Ладно, я уже там в паблике просто ору с челиков, которые... Нужно пойти, это самое... Там, ну, после вчерашнего видоса все там, ну, просто очень много комментариев было о том, что скриньте, это все хрень, это неправда. Скриньте, аддона про Илидана не будет, скриньте. Фен лох. Ну-ну.
Illidan is the most iconic demon hunter, and he leads an army of demon hunters, the Illidari, and they are eager to fight for him. And so that brings us to another type of deck, another archetype, if you will, that demon hunters are strong at, swarmy token-style decks.
Okay, so it's like kind of like druid in that they make a bunch of small minions and they like buff them up.
Выглядит очень прям.
Not exactly.
Очень
Let's take a look at the minions here first. Let's look at Coordinated Strike. So this is a great.
Ну да, это за 3 маны призывает 3 Илидария с натиском. То есть как саранча, только... Ну, они не показывают челика, который, собственно, это самое... Когда ты убираешь существо, стреляет на 3 урона. Это ключевая карта, и она будет прям вот круто работать с этой херней. Есть еще улучшенная версия за 5 маны. Самонит 6 Илидарий, тоже с натиском. Это вообще забей.
Not so much Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter
да,
doesn't
там
really
система
buff
уже
their minions
залетела
very much.
просто.
Instead, Demon Hunters deal with soul magic. They take advantage of the souls of the fallen. So let's look at Wrathscale Naga. Wrathscale Naga deals damage randomly to enemies whenever a friendly minion dies.
So Soul Juggler has come to standard now. You know, it's actually in base Hearthstone, not just in Battlegrounds. I mean,
Soul Juggler.
It's not demons, and it is random enemy, so this can hit your opponent's face, which can be good, can be bad, depending. But 3's a lot of damage. Especially if you combine it with 6 1/1 rushers from one
card.
If
every one of those also throws a 3 damage glaive.
You're going to be seeing a lot of cards like Wrathscale Naga in Demon Hunter. Minions, like stuff that costs like 1 through 4. You're usually going to be talking a little about more minions that are like fragile. You're not going to be looking to build a giant board and then buff all the minions with stuff like Savage Roar and Bloodlust. It's taking advantage of the death of those minions and then kind of building toward either trying to destroy your opponent early or build towards a late game where you're going to run them out of resources and play big minions yourself.
So you're not quite like sacrificing your own minions, but you're sending them to die. You don't mind that so much.
Да, одно место стрелка. Ну, типа, это не важно.
I'm here for this.
Типа, его сначала поставить, потом играть этих Илидарий.
We can also restore ourselves with additional resources based on all of our minions dying as well. Let's look at Feast of Souls.
Весь прикол, что...
And that can be a lot of cards. You know, look at this with Command the Illidari.
Самый прикол, что у этого класса все есть. Типа ебейший урон, добор, хил, просто все есть. Просто все. И дикий темп. То есть карты, которые показывают, они темповые. Там еще впереди будут демоны, которые за 1 ману. Там вообще минус, блядь, отрыв башки просто. О чем, близд? О чем?
Draw a lot of their deck in order to be really consistent, like that's going to be something that's available to them to be able to use.
Okay.
А подождите, там еще 2 демона за 1 ману.
Like punching your face not sacrificing, sending my minions in to die, taking advantage of their death.
Мне кажется, что бесконечных ресурсов. Да ему это и не надо, он тебя сломает ебало на четвертых.
It's a different world for them. What else do they do? How else do they win the game?
Well, let's talk about, look at their name, Demon Hunter. What do they do with demons?
I'm gonna guess they hunt them.
They hunt demons.
I mean, just
hunt them down.
Вот это, конечно,
right there, let me tell you.
Yeah, it's a good guess. Their relationship status with demons is complicated.
Okay.
Their actual goal, Illidan's main goal, is to stop the burning.
Правда, тут паки с картонками Иллидана занерфят и похоронят. Ну, то такое тоже может быть. Скорее всего, так и будет. Типа продадут, еба, какая имба, все вернутся в Хартстоун. Потом через месяц это понерфят и все забьют. Но бабки-то уже ушли.
Many of the larger and stronger demons out there have swapped sides to join the demon hunters.
Чем думать, если можно идти фейс? Да это и проблема в том, что большинство игроков Хартстоун, вот они и так и думают, поэтому это... Близы посмотрели? Так, все любят играть на агроте. Ну и добавим еще агроту, еще больше будут играть. Вот и все. Таранщик 2.0.
He's like Batterhead, but bigger.
Yeah. Or perhaps Pit Commander. He's also extremely large demon and is going to summon more extremely large demons.
See, if your deck is just full of these big demons, this guy's going to get you big demons every time he summons them.
Проливать, привет.
Let's be honest, 9 is a lot of mana, right? Like we've got these early game life steal things. How are we surviving till 9 to actually play this as a demon hunter?
Well, two ways. First of all, we're gonna.
Ой, 5-10 за 8
some
норм.
ways to get out their big demons.
Ну, такое, мне кажется, он не будет играть, просто он не такой темповый.
Okay, so this is, by the way, the next demon you play costs 2 less. Period. Not this turn.
Yeah, not this turn.
So you can play this on 4 and then, say, play a 7-cost demon on 5.
Wait in the wings for a while.
Right, okay. Kind of reminds me of Dragon.
Любой следующий демон.
Exactly.
То есть там не обязательно в этот ход. То есть ты можешь, если она живет сколько-то, ты можешь ставить дешевле демонов, лол.
Most of their minions are pretty... most of their early game minions are pretty offensively statted, fragile minions. But there are a few exceptions to that. Let's take a look at Wrathspike Brute, excuse me.
Да.
Okay, so this seems like it's really good against a swarm of perhaps Illidari,
exactly,
right?
Yeah, the Illidari demons.
She's not quite sure what side she's on. She's like, come at me.
Я, правда, неправильно в видосе понял. Я думаю, когда она атакует, а тут, когда ее атакуют, она еще в ответ наносит 1 урон всем по АОЕшке. Вообще топовая карта.
Yep. Or just if they do have some larger things, how about just destroy a lot of stuff? Let's take a look at Chaos Nova.
4 damage to all minions for 5 mana. That's
Руины Запределья. Это новый этот самый логотип или это что? Это такой логотип? Что это за посос? Так, блядь, не говори, что это реально официальный логотип. А, это гном выложил.
To take out something that's just out of range,
Я уже думал, совсем ёбнулись.
Right.
Yeah, Chaos Nova is actually a card that's part of their base set as well. So it's we want Demon Hunter to have access to things that help them get to late game, so they can play some of these big demon strategies or some expansions in the future. Maybe we have some other control archetypes for Demon Hunter, where it's going to allow them to have support for that to get to late game.
Okay, and obviously we have now sort of a few things that Demon Hunters do, a few strategies they have, but a lot of classes kind of have their own unique mechanics, you know, overload, combo. Does Demon Hunter have anything that's just exclusively theirs?
Yes, they do. Demon Hunters are not the most popular people around. Wielding demonic magic isn't very
Там Сомбра просто держит в курсе максимально.
They're generally shunned by society, sort of living on the outcasts of society. And so that brings us to our keyword that's Demon Hunter specific, outcast.
Okay.
Like rogues have combo or shamans have overload, like you said. Yes, Demon Hunters have outcast.
Да хватит пиздеть, давайте уже показывайте что-нибудь. Вот он, Outcast, новый этот самый. Новое слово.
How do I get my extra card, Chad?
Outcast is a bonus if this is played as the left or rightmost card in your hand.
Да, все-таки будет именно такая механика, то есть если карта самая левая или карта самая правая, то ты получаешь еще вот этот эффект Outcast. То есть берешь еще одну карту. Охрененная тема на самом деле. Типа, механика очень крутая, потому что она компенсируется. Ты получаешь на топ-деке, ты ее типа берешь. Не хочешь ее играть на топ-деке, ты ждешь, ты играешь там правые карты, она уходит влево-влево, и все равно потом будет полезная, потому что, ну, типа, ты все равно получишь две карты. Это реально топ. Скажите Кельтасу, да. Я пойду. Ну, Кельтас там каждое третье заклинание играет бесплатно.
That makes me think about when I want to play my other cards and not just this one.
Yeah, exactly. And I think during deck building, if you have a bunch of outcast cards in your deck, then you might be a little bit more motivated to have more lower cost cards. Because if you get that 9 cost card over in the left side of your hand, it's pretty hard to get rid of that at any point. So triggering outcast tends to be a little bit easier
да, и еще две карты добрал.
But
это очень лютая карта, если она будет приходить тебе с топ-дека. Вот у тебя типа нет карт, она тебе с топ-дека приходит, ты играешь и добираешь еще две карты. Это ж вообще пушка. Это просто пушка. Я говорю, этот класс, это просто имба, блядь. Это просто, у него куча мелких существ, у него есть добор, у него есть все.
Three mana, deal 3 damage to minion, heal yourself a bit in the process.
Чё?
That is serious. That's a big discount.
Это жрецовская карта, которая наносит 3 урона, но при этом, ну и хилит тебя, собственно, на 3. Но если она самая левая или самая правая, она стоит 0 маны.
Точка. Сделал приятно на 30 рублей и говорит, нам отказал в этом аддоне 700 каток на хайлмаге. Часто страдает агроты, а тут еще имбове агру вводят. Охуенно.
Я все пропустил. Хороший донат, спасибо. Заруинил весь момент. Если ДХ будет слишком имбовый, что они сделают? Ну, занерфят его в говно.
Let's take a look at a couple more examples of it.
That's what I want. You're speaking my language. That's what I want to see.
More cards.
More cards.
Consume magic. So this is a silent spell. But it also outcasts for card draw.
Салишь карту, но если она самая левая или самая правая, берешь еще и карту.
You don't necessarily just want to play this when it's on the far right of your hand, but if you don't have a great opportune time to use it, you could just essentially cycle through it just for that one.
Right.
So that's really interesting.
Demon Hunters might have a bunch of outcast cards, and like you said, a lot of the outcast bonuses are actually pretty situational.
Ну его, по-моему, нельзя в лицо кидать, здесь его еще и в лицо можно кидать, это вообще забей.
You get the card, and it's immediately always the right thing to do to play it right away. Because like, say the silence card is sitting on the left side of your hand, and you have some more outcast cards, there's nothing to silence, you have to make the decision whether or not maybe it's the right time for me to cycle this, or maybe I should wait so my other outcasts get over there.
А у него еще и сало есть, то есть таун ставишь, он салит, добирает карту, идет тебе дальше в ебало просто.
Okay, this is really interesting. It's got rush and outcast immune this turn. So you draw it.
Такую карту я, кстати, не видел. За 4 маны 5-3, натиск, ауткаст, получает иммун в этом ходу. А что за иммун? А, типа она бессмертная становится, если ты ее слева или справа играешь. Ебать. Что?
I'm sure you know my question is going to be, and what everyone in chat wants.
More cards.
More cards.
Right.
More cards.
I don't know. We've showed a lot of cards so far.
I think we should probably continue.
Да вы и так уже слили кучу карт.
Every minute or so.
More cards.
Let's talking more cards.
Okay. All right. More cards. Let's look at their entire basic set.
Ауткаст, конечно, сильная тема.
Almost their entire basic set. So,
ага, закрыли. Но это все карты, которые слили. Эти все были. А, это basic set его. Мы не видели только вот алдрачи, вот эти вот. Алдрачи-подрачи. Остальные карты мы видели в вчерашнем сливе.
But let's move on to the Demon Hunter Initiate set. So there's 2 pages of this.
Okay, so
look at these.
О, Урзул тоже тут на месте.
Right. So the Initiate set is
вот этот Урзул и вот этот Battlefiend, это вообще забей.
Including You're the Dragon, which is still in standard.
О, легендарка, кстати. Блюр. Что там был? Что там был за блюр? Типа за 0 маны ваш герой не может получить урон или что-то типа того.
Okay, so that's 30 total.
Как у темпларки блюр.
And I'm sure in addition to wanting to see all of them, people want to know how do I get them, right?
Right. So we've built a prologue that teaches you or shows you Illidan's story, lets you play through and experience.
Ой, пролог про Иллидана.
And best of all, it's free. The class is free. All of these cards are free that you've seen here. The basic Demon Hunter Initiate, all 30 cards there, free.
Okay, so I think
все будет бесплатным.
Free. That's about what everyone wants to hear in the chat, right? Like these are some of my favorite things.
Все, что будет связано с Illidaном, будет бесплатно. Blizzard.
They're gonna get 15 new cards.
Алло, заберите их в дурку.
Each expansion in Year of the Phoenix is going to have 15 cards instead of the normal 10 for Demon Hunter.
Okay, after you finish the prologue, you're going to have that starter deck for Demon Hunter.
Ну зато на него потом будут побольше карт, по 50 карт. Я понял. Знаете, что они? Они сейчас дают... Они работают как наркодилеры, чат! Они работают как только наркодилеры! То есть ты сейчас такой покупаешь... Ну, тебе дают сейчас бесплатно на Иллидане поиграть, а потом в каждом аддоне ему будут по 50 карт добавлять. И, соответственно, ты будешь покупать эти приключения, потому что захочешь дальше играть на Иллидане. Они дают тебе первую дозу бесплатно. Что за бред? Нет, ну даже приключения бесплатно. В этом смысл Хексус. Типа и все карты бесплатные. Не, ну да, Basic Set как бы должен быть бесплатным, но это какой-то пиздец. Что там?
Okay, so these are some heavy hitters right here, and I think that
а Велин, кстати, не ушел.
Лерой уйдет. This is a fan favorite, Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, Leroy Jenkins is definitely a card that is both loved and hated, I think, by the community. It's very polarized.
А зачем Сало убрали?
I think among these 5 cards here, I would split them
Видимо,
into
из-за Иллидана,
3
потому что Сало
first
убрали.
category is both for Leroy and Mountain Giant. They're both very powerful win condition cards. Win conditions in a different way, but
техника, правда, непонятно, тоже нихера убрали. Один Триаколита зачем убрали? Вообще не понимаю.
Any amount of time you've been Leroy Shadow Stepped, probably
просто лучшая карта.
A few times in the same turn, for instance.
Yeah, in the same turn. So a bunch of different classes have been utilizing.
Не, ну Лероя давно уже прогнозировали. Странно, что Велина не убрали, а Велина не говорили.
That we really love, that we're probably going to come back to, maybe not in its current form, at least in standard. Leroy is a character that we want to be around in Hearthstone. I think that they'll just be different ways for each classes to end games as opposed to just having.
Ну обидно, да. Иллидану бы еще Лероя и вообще была бы пушка.
Replacement for the fun and interactive copy pasta for chat.
I'm sure. I depend on chat to come up with copy pastas
on you.
Their own. Yeah,
it's on you out there.
I'm sure they'll be able to figure it out.
I believe.
Mountain Giant falls into kind of the same bucket, in that Mountain Giant comes out in turn 4 in decks like Handlock, comes out pretty early in Mage decks recently. So having those decks play a little bit differently, we really like those strategies. So you can expect there to be replacements for cards like Mountain Giant, but just in ways that make the classes feel a little bit different.
We see something like Abyssal Summoner already, right?
Right,
it comes
exactly.
down. I care about you having a big hand, but it's not just the same giant minion coming down on turn 4.
Yeah, we want to support those decks, and a lot of times, a lot of classes don't really have an option to deal with something as big as a Mountain Giant on turn 4, at least in standard.
Я его пропустил. В конце хода призывает демона из вашей колоды. Ебать, там демон. Это Питлорд, Питкомандер. Я пропустил эту карту.
Well, not the same archetypes, but doing the same thing year after year. There's a lot of people I think who have been very sick of mind control deck for a very long time. It already got removed from Arena a while ago. What's the decision to remove it from standard here?
I think Mind Control Tech is an example of a card that just doesn't really match up with our design philosophy anymore. It's like really high impact early game randomness. I think in standard, you can get yourself in situations where you just want to play with minions. I mean, that's your strategy. You're an aggressive archetype. You're swarming the board. And Mind Control Tech just comes down on turn 3 or turn 4, takes your biggest minion. It doesn't really feel like there's anything that you could have done against that kind of thing. And we tend to design less of those cards these days. And Wild is a little bit less of a problem just because of the power level of Wild is so insanely high that Mind Control Tech is kind of not really a big impact.
Я только на стриме кто-то спрашивал, Лероя уберут в этот вольный, я сказал, да. Где можно будет посмотреть на новые карточки в паблике.
I'm totally behind that. I'm sure a lot of people watching now are. I think the other 2 cards on that list, Spellbreaker and Acolyte of Pain, are probably more of a surprise. What's the decision behind moving those to Wild?
Глиномесы в паблике уже там пишут, Лерой, это за что? Действительно. Действительно, за что Лерой это? Как я теперь буду глиномесить? Бля, дым какой-то пошел. Алло, у вас там это, бля, здание горит.
A package of Acolyte of Pain and Novice Engineer and Loot Hoarder, and everyone sort of shares that. And whenever we make new card draw cards, it's hard to make them at a much higher power level than those cards because they're already, fairly powerful. So you just end up with these decks that they draw a bunch of cards and they're using the same package. And not only that, they're using the same package of neutral cards. So all the classes actually play very similarly to each other.
So is what you're saying that Loot Hoarder and Novice Engineer should be like watching their back?
Yeah, I think it's important that the base level sets have simple words on them, like draw a card. Drawing cards is important in card games.
Sure.
So having some of those cards is okay, but when you get to a critical mass where all you really need is this package.
Гася, нас 300 человек почти сидит, смотрит, лол, что на Гудгейме. Погью, я думал, человек 30 будет. Привет всем, ребят, привет. Нам не разрешили рестримить, поэтому я решил ворваться на Гудгамес. You don't always see the same cards because they're utilizing, different card draw cards from different expansions. Неожиданно.
That's how we'd like Standard to play out as well.
And it kind of feels similar to Spellbreaker, right? Yes. I've built so many decks that it's like, okay, 2 Spellbreakers, gotta silence that Void Lord and kill you, gotta silence that Cube and kill you.
Right. We want a base level silence, and I think Iron Beak Owl fills that role, whereas Spellbreaker is on the higher power level end. I think one of the good examples that we had was when Gluttonous Use was in Standard. It gave people a different option for weapon removal than they had previously, something that you might choose over something like Swamp Ooze or Harrison. So being able to make another silence card in an expansion is something that we're kind of excited for to make the game feel a little bit different. It'll go in an expansion. We want it to be really accessible, so it'll probably be a common card. But just something that maybe
4 назад, наверное, рофлил с этого.
3 classes that have a silence card during a given year, but they'll play no neutral one outside of Iron Beak Owl. So it makes the game feel a little bit different every time.
More reason for people to play the new Demon Hunter Outcast one.
Yeah, for sure. It just makes things feel different.
Okay, cool. And in addition to the neutral Hall of Fame stuff, one of the big things that people have been asking that's been kind of on the radar for a while were these changes coming to Priest, right?
Yes, yeah.
So this is something that's been talked about for a very long time. I believe
Major
you have tweeted
Priest
about
change.
it. Sort of
I think a bunch of people on the team talked a little bit to it.
So talk me through the thought process of sort of revisiting Priest in the basic and classic sets right now.
Мне на самом деле непонятно, почему они именно Приста взяли. Типа, я надеюсь, они будут просто по чуть-чуть каждый класс брать и вот эти базовые карты перерабатывать, потому что, некоторые уже изжили просто себя, они уже устарели, они, Хартстоун, каждый аддон меняется, а вот эти базовые колоды остаются. Они все равно уже плевали на все вот эти вот ванила... Как это называлось? Ванила-тесты, блять, то, что там за 4 маны не может быть 8-8 статы на столе и так далее. Они уже и так наплевали на всю базу Хартстоуна. Поэтому то, что они там копаются в этих, базовых сетах, это только к лучшему. Серьезно, уже просто плевать на это. Им уже просто поебать. Они все равно его уже сломали давным-давно. То есть нет такого понятия, как раньше. На 4-й ход 4-5 поставили. Йети, ты такой, ебать, вот это ход. Сейчас тебя, блядь, на 3-й ход там наспамили говна просто целый стол. И ты такой, ебаный рот. Ебаный рот того казино, что делать? Ты посмотрите, сколько карт уйдут в зал славы у жреца. Аукинайка, Divine Spirit, то есть больше не будет жреца на этом самом, на увеличении ХП. Holy Fire уходит, Shadow Form уходит. Решили, что, видимо, нет смысла развивать эту тему с Shadow формой жреца, наконец-то ее убрали. Клирика убрали и Велена. Лоу. F-клирик просто. F-клирик. F-клирик. F. Клирик. Но они, короче, то, о чем они говорили. Они говорили, что мы не любим вот эти вот ОТК хуйни, и они убрали все опции для ОТК на жреце просто. Понерфили вот этот вот удваивание ХП, понерфили Велена. Ну, убрали их в зал славы. Все, сосад. Больше никаких АТК. Слава богу.
So like we removed Mind Blast and put it to the Hall of Fame, and I think for Velen's like, wow, that was the card.
My jam.
Right.
That was what I did.
So we're not really planning.
Они хотели убрать Mind Blast, но потом увидели типа Велена и решили все-таки Велена убрать. Да, клирика на самом деле сейчас супер, ну, жалко. Ну, хотя на самом деле в последних колодах его уже не брали. Типа есть вот этот вот Resurrect жрец, который, видимо, и останется. В нем он не играл, поэтому как-то похер на него. Тем временем мне как-то он стоит в сторонке и ржет. Вот, новые зато карты. Копирует карту из колоды, дает баф +2, +6, такая залупа. -1 атака к существу, дает вашему челику +2 хп. Уничтожает все существа с атакой 5 или больше. Ну и Наталья, вот эта вот самая топовая карта, уничтожает существо и получает ее хп типа себе. Охренительная карта. 10 из 10 карт. Уважаемый Артем Бондар, не нужно дублировать в предложку. Спасибо. Ну как это? Надо.
You know, pretty thematically appropriate for what Priest is doing, and then also their hero power heals things, and they have heal spells. So in order to buff a minion's health and then heal it, it just kind of like makes sense and works mechanically. So it's something that we want to do, but it just became hard to do because Divine Spirit existed.
One of my favorite style of Priest decks was always kind of the mid-range minion deck, where it's like, yeah, I'm trying to control the board with my minions, keep my minion alive with heals. Yeah. And a lot of times it felt like, well, I didn't really have the tools I needed, or else my deck just became a Divine Spirit Interfire deck every single time.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the other two cards, Shadowward Ruin and Natalie Celine, are their base level control cards for Priest. One of the things that we struggle with is that we go to make a Priest deck and we go to make a Priest control deck, and they don't have a lot of great options in terms of how do I get to the late game, and then once I get there, how do I win? So we have to build all of that into the expansion, and if any of those cards miss or don't work in that particular archetype, the whole archetype kind of fails.
Well, that's one thing that I've talked about for a long time, is that with the sort of dearth of good control tools in the Priest Classic set, you had to keep making Psychic Screams and Plague of Deaths and all these mass hysterias, all these new mass removal effects, and now with Shadowward Ruin in the Classic set, it's a way for priests to just guaranteed have that big clear.
Yeah, there'll be a base level clear, and then sometimes in expansions.
Не, ну вообще карточки прикольные. Я просто там ведь менеджер отвечаю.
Standard cycle, they'll have a lot of removal and a lot of control tools, but at least at a base level, they're always.
Эта восьмерка может контролить таун друида с неуязвимость к магии. Ну да, кстати. Не, охрененная карта, очень лютая.
There's so many players who must have gotten a Prophet Velen and be like, oh cool, this is going to buff my healing, and they play it as like, this isn't really very good.
Ну, ликвидация, но еще и с дропом, это вообще забей. Супер топ. Если еще какая-то жирная тварь против тебя стоит на столе, то вообще забей. То, что на 8 маны стоит, это прям пушка.
Generically powerful in the sense that it's the way that you're going.
Такая игра, то еще до 8-го хода нажить еще нужно. Ну и в игроте не будет тебе никакой там большой такой карты. Поэтому, возможно, из-за мета эта карта и не будет играть.
And these are almost universally buffs, right? You look at Shadow Madness, Shadowward Death, Temple Enforcer, Thoughtsteal, Holy Nova, all reduced in cost by 1. And some of these were cards that already saw a significant amount of play. And then Holy Smite, you take a look down there, it deals 3 damage now. Holy Nova only deals damage to minions, not players. Same thing with Holy Smite. So taking away that burst angle you were talking about earlier from Priest. I think the one kind of nerf here, I would say, would be Powered Shield down the left.
Так, баланс поменяли. Здесь у нас... Ну, я это все видел. Там ничего такого. Единственное, что слово силы щит поменяли, и она больше карту не дает, но стоит 0. За нерфы базовых карт пыль дадут. Не знаю, не уверен. Это имбово, да, плюс 2 за 0, да? Нет, херни. Учитывая, что сейчас, ну, увеличение ХП убрали, то в этом никакого смысла нет. Это просто дерьмо, которое не нужно. Ты блюр выложил? Ну-ка, что там за блюр? Your hero can take damage this turn. Ваш герой неуязвим до конца хода. Это то, о чем я и думал. Прикольно. Прикольно. С 0 маны можно как-то затрейдиться, там еще что-то. Ну, как бы навряд ли такую карту будут брать себе в колоду, но будет такая опция. Что с клириком? Зал славы. Да, удивляется, плюс 2 хп за 0 у класса, что не может выиграть. Не, ну типа это можно придумать насчет там какого-нибудь, знаете, аукциониста, через него крутить колоду, чтобы потом был, ну вот этот вот жрец, который выкидывает всю руку, а потом играет через номи. Это единственное, наверное, где это можно юзать.
Thank you guys for talking about that, but we have a lot more to talk about, of course.
Sure. Yeah, let's get into more stuff.
We got the ranked system.
Так, новая система ранга. Наконец-то, наконец-то.
Can you talk to me about what the
Они поняли, что легенда говно из жопы, блядь, никому не интересно играть.
Sure, I think the first big visual thing is you're used to what is the old system? It's ranked 25 to 1. And once you get past 1, you get into Legend. And Legend is staying basically the same. But the rest of the system is totally changing. So you're going to go from Bronze 10 to Diamond 1. There's going to be 5 leagues now. As you can see here, there's Bronze, Silver, Gold, Platinum, and Diamond. One of the biggest changes is before you would reset 4 ranks from where you previously were. So if you're rank 1, you would reset to rank 5. And then you would fight your way up.
Если ты был на ранге 1, то ты будешь на ранге 5.
Everyone at the beginning of the season is resetting to Bronze 10. And they're going to try to fight their way back up to where they were before.
Okay, that'll take a while, though, right?
Yeah, I think there's a caveat here in that based on how you did in the previous season.
После сезона опять будешь на бронзовом ранге, и типа опять с 10-го нужно будет до самой легенды, типа че ёбнулись? Мы же уже это проходили. Мы же это проходили, какой смысл в этом? Везде по 3 звезды, кстати. Ладно, я нихуя не понял.
So there's twice as many of those.
Yeah, and there's twice as many. So, and every single rank is going to have 3 stars as well. So one of the examples that we like to give is if you were Legend the previous season, based on where you were in Legend, you might get 10 or 11 as a star bonus. Okay. So when you win that first game, you might win 11 stars. So you're going to rifle all the way through the system like very quickly.
So it's not just bonus stars like you said before. You just start with more stars. It's actually...
Да, ты начинаешь, у тебя в запасе будет очень много типа звездочек. И если ты первую катку выигрываешь, ты можешь получить сразу, например, там 9 звезд. То есть не одну звезду за победу, а сразу типа, блядь, 9 звезд, если ты был на легенде. Типа прикольно, но...
Faster than you were previously. And if you're someone that just plays a little bit every month and wants to see some form of progression
и типа сразу несколько рангов перепрыгнуть.
Then you're going to be able to do that as well.
So, speaking of the rewards, is
насчет несгораемых не понял. Так, еще и награды будут какие-то.
And we're attacking that from 3 different angles. First of all, the end of season rewards, the chest at end of each month that you're familiar with. That was like
рандомная классическая легендарка? А, это первый раз. Первый раз классический пак, рандомный классический рак, пак. Latest expansion pack. Типа это набор следующего дополнения тебе будут давать? Ебать, вот это тема. Тут реально тема. А, нет, последнего аддона, да? Latest это последний. Я думал, следующего, типа. Пятый ранг, рандомный, стандартный эпик. Спасибо. Будут давать паки за эти самые... За рейтинг. Наконец-то, блядь. Наконец-то они додумались.
We currently give you the card back at the end of each month. We're going to do that immediately when you hit 5 wins.
Start flexing on people right away.
Ну да, рубашку буду давать за 5 побед, как раньше. Воу. Ну, на самом деле, переделка рейтинга мне нравится пока, именно наградами. Это мелочь, но это хоть что-то, потому что сейчас мы получаем нихуя.
Yeah, this is actually another huge change. That we're changing how we're matching players. Before, if you were, say, ranked 22, you matched against someone else who also happened to be ranked 22. It didn't matter, you know, if that player just hadn't played for a while.
Я вот не понимаю, как будут новички со стариками играть. Ебать, тут Милхаус есть. Милхаус!
Whereas in the new system, we're only matching players.
Я буду сидеть только на этом ранге. Голд 10, запомните этот ранг.
You're going to be matching against someone who we think is really fair for you.
Ну да, то есть ты будешь вот так теперь ходить. Ну, нормально.
From Legend, for example, you're going to be facing somebody that is also equivalent skill level to you. And that might sound like, well, you know, I'm probably only going to win about half of my games there. Well, the star bonus should help alleviate that. So you'll still be going through the system, even though you're matching against equal skilled opponents.
But when you do win consistently, the win streak bonus is still there and is multiplicative. So you could get 22 stars for a win.
Yeah.
So basically the goal is that you just have better games, better match-made games for everyone all the way up the climb.
Right, and you're still
Бля, первый комментарий в моем же паблике. Ждать камбэк Пукища в паблик. Блядь, ну что за долбоебы, я не понимаю.
You know, rank 20 to 25, they'd be kind of hitting a wall against a lot of different players who had just hadn't played for a while.
Я пропустил, что там было, что за покемоны.
Having a lot of those unfair matches, whereas that shouldn't happen anymore in the new system.
Well, speaking of players who haven't played in a while, one of the other things that Ben Lee talked about in the video was the returning
На канале будет разбор всего этого? Не знаю. Наверное, да.
We've rebuilt our returning player experience. It's now a series of 3 missions where you play as young Illidan, back when he was a mage, before he became a demon hunter, sparring with some of his friends. And it sort of catches you up, teaches you about what's been going on in Hearthstone, and reminds you how to play the game. Just a quick catch-up. But when you complete it, we'll give you a deck of a class of your choice, just giving you all the cards. You can mix and match, swap out the cards if you want. They are fully yours to own. And yeah. New players are also going to get that same deck choice when they graduate out of the new player rank.
So obviously, you know, with Demon Hunter coming in, first new class in Hearthstone, free deck, great time to come back and play.
Yes.
In addition to this, there's also another big change that Ben Lee talked about, which is the duplicate card protection pass that now applies across all rarities. Can you talk about this just a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, I think that like this is going to be something that really changes the pack opening experience for the better. I think like when a new expansion comes out and you know you get 20, you get 30 packs and you're opening all of them, one of the disappointing moments can be it's like, oh, I opened an epic or I opened a rare and it's the same one. Whereas I think at least in your first 20 or 30
да, новая система, что не выпадают копии там этих рарок, копии эпиков не выпадают. Это тоже пиздец как важно. Это прям вообще сейчас будет так просто собирать картонки, что забей.
So this makes it a lot, you know, faster to build the decks that you want and get into playing the things that you want.
It just makes pack opening more fun too. You get a pack, from you know that tavern brawl, or you get 100 gold from a couple quests, and you want to buy that pack. It just makes it more exciting to open because you know you're going to get new stuff.
Не упадают копии. Да. А как крафтить? Ну тоже, кстати, вот непонятно, как насчет тогда. Может быть, мы неправильно поняли, как тогда. Типа, ну, соберешь все, и потом будешь это самое. Будешь пылить. Соберешь все и будешь пылить. Collection Manager.
We took a big risk with this unclaimed storage locker, but I got a good feeling about this one. Previous owner was
Ой, это эти охотники за сувенирами, или как это говно называется?
Okay, let's crack it open. Weird lock. Levi, bring the key.
So what are you hoping to find in here?
Loot! Or at least something we can use
for
the
Pribambas
Hearthstone expansion. It fits! Smiley face emoji! Okay, crew. Let's see what the cat dragged in. Oh. This locker is legendary! If we have one goal today, it's to find something absolutely priceless.
This looks like a bunch of personal junk.
Yeah, keep looking, Val.
Тиранда.
Food, water, MREs. This guy sure was prepared.
Это тут Илидан типа жил.
It's an old tube television. That's worth 200 gold.
Really?
A
video cassette
player. That's like 300 gold right there. There's still tapes. 320.
Dave, you can't just announce random prices for junk and expect us to believe that's what it's worth.
Happens all the time in the storage locker biz.
Если накрафтить все коммонки и рарки, то паки будут выпадать только с эпиками и легами. Нормально. О, тихо, тихо, тихо. Кельтас драчу!
Where you must scavenge what you need to survive. You will find no justice here.
А это была жена шамана, что ли? Ашара!
If you dare enter my realm,
надеюсь, это новые скины.
No, that's not what I was going to say.
Бля, какой пососный логотип.
All the stuff in there is from Outland. Man, that place is awesome.
Here, look, there's probably a bunch of cool stuff we could put in the set in this.
Yes, imagine it. Ashes
логотип просто говно.
This ash, this place is filthy.
What do you want to do with this skull, boss?
Oh, that
это
is
Леди
the
Вайша.
skull of Gul'dan. Illidan used to hold this whenever he made dramatic emo monologues.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was my favorite monologue.
That's worth at least 1,000 Apexis crystals. Demon hunters can use the skull of Gul'dan for some pretty
Череп
intense
Гул'дана.
card draw.
Доберите 3 карты. Блять, не успел прочитать, что делает Outcast.
There! The Warglaives of Azeroth! Illidan's weapon of choice! Oh, that's an easy 600 Azerite!
So with these equipped, the Demon Hunter could get in like 4 attacks a turn, right? They don't really mess around.
Yeah, it's
Да, такое мы уже видели.
Check this out.
А, за 2, походу, уменьшает стоимость на 3, понял.
Doesn't work.
Fell dog whistle. That's worth 50.
50
Их
what?
стоимость уменьшается на 3 или до 3? Понял. 50.
This whistle really brings a beast to
Какой-то
the yard.
свисток.
And with some ingenuity, you can upgrade him.
Доберите зверя, он получает плюс 3, плюс 3.
This one's moving.
Oh yeah, danger! Oh yeah, danger! Whoa, that is an imprisoned observer. So imprisoned demons are dormant for 2 turns. They can't be interacted with.
Что такое дормант? Спит, типа? Дремлет? Дремал ебал или что?
Can be devastating, but it's okay. You're safe for 2 turns.
How long did you say?
2 turns. Hey, kitty carrier.
А, это как тьма. Понял. Ну я говорю, типа, дремлет.
Hey, I found a
Ебал дремал.
spiky, jagged chainsaw and some metal snakes.
Oh, weird. Yeah, I don't know what this stuff might be worth. We're gonna call my buddy Chad. He's my go-to guy for jagged, rusty chainsaws and metal snakes.
Oh, yeah. What you've got there are relics of a couple of primes. An amazing find. Primes are a new mechanic in Ash's
Ну, наверное, один
Valley.
ход, типа,
Here's how they
стоит.
work.
Это...
They're powerful characters who get shuffled back into your deck when destroyed. Like Kargath Bladefist. If he's destroyed, he comes back, rebuilt as Chainsaw-handed Kargath Prime. A 10/10 who gives you armor? Nasty. And
those snakes belong to Lady Vaj.
Владивайши.
Spell damage is great, but when she comes back, she's bringing a handful of spells with her.
Типа они умирают, они замешиваются в колоду, но потом они улучшаются.
Yeah, that's great. But I mean, look at this stuff here. I mean, this is worth at least like what, 60,000 Dark Moon Fair tickets?
Best I could do is 250.
What does this guy know? He doesn't know anything.
I thought you said he was your chainsaw and snake guy.
Yeah, but you know the thing with the rusted
Прикольные
chainsaw
леги.
hand is
Леги
you gotta
прикольные,
find
мне
the right
нравится.
collector. Oh, nice dagger. It's 100 shards. Oh, poisonous. That's like 400 shards. Poisonous daggers are good time. Just,
Секрет.
you know,
Ой,
avoid
секрет на рогу вернули.
She'll be fine.
Я не успею
Got some
прочитать.
glowing orange mushrooms.
Oh,
Карту, которая улучшается, ни у кого такого нет. Нигде такого не видели, и вот снова.
What's that worth?
Like 20 glow caps. Oh, the verdant spheres of Kael'thas. Kael'thas is cool. We should just give everybody Kael'thas.
За 6 маны. Нормальная стоимость, нормальная стоимость. Мне интересно была только стоимость. Стоило 3, стало 2. Типа одну сломал. Опа, повязка или Дана.
Okay, all right, hold still. I think what you're experiencing is called a metamorphosis.
Каждый третий спелл стоит 0 маны.
Depends. Do you like to wear hats? So in this form, as a demon hunter, your hero power does 5 damage.
Starting to really like demon hunters.
Что? У него еще будет и метаморфоза, которая наносит по 5 урона. Что, блять? Или у всех будет метаморфоза?
Somewhere behind one of these doors.
Yeah.
Storage lockers is the ultimate artifact. We're gonna find it. We're gonna scour this place. If it takes days, if it takes weeks,
Hey, Dave, is this it?
Oh, that's it. Cool.
Это еще не все. Что там, второе дополнение? А, нет, портал.
Oh, it's a dark portal. We found a dark portal. Imagine what we could summon with this. That's priceless. Priceless.
I think we should go inside.
Okay, I'm calling Chad. We're to find out what this sucker's worth. Yeah, hey, Chad. Yeah, so
Меняет обилку на 5 дамага, после 2 ее использования меняет назад.
Yeah.
Вот и портал Запределья, да. Не идите в черный портал. В темный портал. Не, прикольно они обыграли на самом деле. Прям супер обыграли. Да, можно карту показывать больше 2 секунд, пожалуйста.
So I guess the locker is mine.
Well, there you have it. Ashes of Outland is the next Hearthstone expansion. And I gotta say, Dave Kosak is an absolute national treasure.
He absolutely is.
That was really something.
Yeah. I think Hadija was also a big part.
Ролик просто 10 из 10. Просто 10 из 10 ролик. Про эти картонки, это прям пушка.
Outland. It's this awesome place. I know you played the Burning Crusade expansion for World of Warcraft a little bit.
A little bit. I was the first level 70 on Ner'zhul. Shout out
to Ner'zhul. Yeah, this broken world full of these diverse biomes like Hellfire and Blade's Edge and the beautiful swamps of Zangarmarsh. God, I love Zangarmarsh. But of course, Black Temple, home of Illidan and the Demon Hunters, fits perfectly.
Okay, well, you know what's coming next. All this cool theme stuff.
Ух, как же много они всего показали.
Просто
жесть. Карту представлять будешь? Ну, мне сказали, что ты хочешь представлять карту. Я сказал да, но что-то больше не ответил ничего.
You saw in the video here imprisoned demons.
Yes.
These are demons that start off dormant for 2 turns, but then do something awesome when they wake up. Let's look at another one.
Не, выглядит очень интересно.
Imprisoned Satyr.
Сатир. Опять dormant for 2 turns. Сидит 2 хода.
In your hand by 5.
5 is a lot.
5 is a lot.
And that's a big one in the hand right there.
3 хода. Блин, мы это обсуждали. Мы уже это обсуждали как-то насчет карт, которые типа дремлят. Типа спят.
So you can set this up and say, okay, only have this really big minion in my hand to reduce the cost of.
Right, exactly. We think these imprisoned demons are going to be really exciting for the meta landscape here of Ashes of Outland.
Не, пока нет даже календаря, да.
They're not directly interactable while they're dormant, but both players can see them and prepare for them and play around them.
It seems like there's a lot of sort of planning ahead of, okay, this isn't going to bother me for a while, but I got to figure out what to do when it pops up.
Yeah, you can't stop the awakening from happening, but there's going to be a bunch of things that happen as a result of a dormant minion awakening. So both players can kind of prepare for it. As the player who's playing it, you can protect it and synergize with whatever is going to happen when it awakens, and as the player playing against it, you kind of figure out what to do.
Теперь уже можно будет строить догадки, что будет в следующем дополнении.
One another card here. So, Ashes of Outland returns to Outland. This amazing nostalgia. We've got these familiar places and faces, like Kael'thas and Lady Vashj and such. But there is not everything's the same. There is a new threat, a rusted legion that has conquered Outland and is remaking it in their image and upgrading people with these augments, especially demons.
Сейчас потому что это Азра или как ее там зовут, типа жена шамана этого.
Rusted Legion takes fallen heroes, friend or foe, and will return them to the battlefield, upgraded with things like armor plating and buzz saws and laser eyes.
So, as the resident chainsaw hand expert, are you the leader of the Rusted Legion? Is that?
Not me, but someone out there is.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's take a look at another prime. You saw the Kargath and Lady Vashj in there. Let's look at Arxbar Mashifin. Yeah, Arxbar Mashifin.
Таун, предсмертный хрип, замешивается в колоду за 3 маны. Блин, вот эти вот новые карты, которые замешиваются в колоду, мне очень нравятся.
Mashifin Prime.
Таунт. Выберите одно, призвать какого-то 9-9 таунт. Таунт или натиск, как я понял.
Yes, it is. That's canon now. Great. Yeah. So, you probably want just more cards. Let's just take a look at some more cards here.
You read my mind.
Они до хрена всего показали.
Let's take a look at a couple more legendaries.
А что-нибудь
остальное?
Остальное месяц показывают.
I remember the Bulwark of Azeroth.
Bulwark of Azeroth.
Like what every tank wanted.
Right, and this is a pretty tanky weapon.
Yeah, I can see.
In this case, it's a shield, but those spikes can definitely do some damage.
Yeah, whenever a hero would take damage, it loses 1 durability. So like they pyroblast you in the face.
1 durability.
All right, but also.
В любом случае ты получаешь только 1 урон.
Also 1 durability.
There's a lot of really cool things about this card. The first is like
любой входящий урон наносит только 1 урон. Ну, вы поняли.
There's kind of a new story there. But outside of the lore and the story, if you're a World of Warcraft player and you're kind of go back in time and you think about like what was happening during the Burning Legion, there's a lot of items that you remember as well. And Bulwark of Azeroth is certainly like one of those. So I think if you're looking for nostalgia as a player, you're going to be able to look back and see a whole bunch of things that you recognize. And then gameplay-wise, there's a lot of decks that actually do pretty big chunks of damage, and I think like Galakrond Warrior is a pretty good example of a deck that's pretty popular right now. Every time they invoke, they have a weapon out and they're doing chunks of like 6-7 damage to you at a time. And Bulwark is going to be like a huge detriment to how do you play around that? And for something like Demon Hunter, they're going to be able to get around it a little bit easier.
Yep. Sure. Yep. Let's look at another familiar face you may remember from Burning Crusade, Terran Gorefiend. Terran Gorefiend is a neutral that destroys all friendly minions.
Боевой клич уничтожает всех дружественных существ. Бессмертный хрип воскрешает. Это первый... Ну, кто не знает, просто по лору, это первый рыцарь смерти, которого я в 2014 году, короче, прогнозировал как новый скин на Гул'дана. Первый ДК, да, первый ДК. Все-таки его добавили, лол. И Келтаса добавили просто. За 6 маны 4-7. Хорошие статы, в принципе, играбелен.
Orb glue. So, Kael'thas is gonna be arriving to the tavern a little early.
Чат, я не понимаю, они посмотрели все мои теории, что ли? Там Тролден посмотрел мои видосы и закинул близам, типа, или что? Все, о чем я говорил, просто все мои теории, бля, рано или поздно добавляются в Хартстоун. Типа, че? Непонятно.
So like if I play, say I'm playing, I don't know, Shaman, right? It's like, okay, I play this, I can play like Witch's Brew, Free Eye of the Storm, or like, if I want to go really crazy, Totemic Might.
So right away, because you have all the totems in play.
Ну да, они говорят про то, что если на шамана играешь Келтасом, ты ставишь его на 6-й ход, играешь там за 0 вот эти вот его заклинания, типа баф тотемов, потом ебашишь десятку просто на 6-й ход. Нормально, нормально.
Say I have 2 copies of Twin Slice.
Да, еще был Феном аддон Запределья.
So different classes take advantage of it a little differently. Druid has Innervate, Priest tends to have a lot of low-cost spells. So it's something that we hope that just as a single.
Да можно очень много всего придумать. 6 маны это прям вообще пушка. Сделай теорию про контроль мету, пожалуйста.
What else can people expect is going to be happening soon? What's the timeline we're looking at here for the rest of this?
Well, let's take a look at their schedule coming up.
Okay, so the pre-purchase for Ashes of Outline goes live today, along with Kael'thas. Priest Update Hall of Fame coming next week on March 26th. The Ranked Play Overhaul on the season start April 1st. Demon Hunter Prologue April 2nd. And then Ashes of Outland launches April 7th. So this is all happening very fast.
Very fast.
Ранкет на 1 апреля. Предзаказ уже можно сейчас оформить.
Okay.
Yeah, normally you might have to wait a little bit after whatever the reveal stream is.
Ну да, на самом деле очень, ну, мало времени осталось, типа уже 17-е. Они решили не тянуть вот этот вот месяц, достаточно быстро сделать, да, не так уж и долго ждать.
Well, speaking of playing Demon Hunter, I don't want to have to wait until, I want to do it right now. I
think it's probably a good idea, yeah.
Let's go.
I think that's our we're going to close the show with is
Demon Hunter геймплей. Посмотрим.
So let's go.
All right.
Кубки в игре по желанию.
Yes.
Ну посмотрим на этого прекрасного ДК в игре.
So.
All right.
Феникс студия, конечно.
Boom.
Интересно, против кого он в этот раз будет играть.
I've seen so far, anything I should know coming into this battle with Chalky about Demon Hunter here?
He's pretty good.
It's true, Chalky is pretty good.
Yeah, he's decent at the game.
But I mean, I'm going to be the Demon Hunter. We'll see what he's going to be.
Мага за 8 маны, Кельтас. 2 заморозки.
Of course, I'm not going to let anyone down at home. We will use all of Illidan's emotes. You won't have to wait to find out what those are.
Good. What do you think? Any guesses on what the emotes are?
One of them is definitely you are not prepared.
All right.
Я этот арт Иллидана где-то видел. Мне кажется, они его сперли у Верс-арта. Ой, не Верс... Как он называется? Есть чели, который делает... Ну, делал 3 года назад любительские вот эти вот классы типа по Хартстоуну. И там был Иллидан. И с очень похожим этим самым артом.
There it is.
There you go.
There it is. All right. Well, now we'll greet him.
Ты не готов.
Okay.
All right.
And this is a new card, by the way.
Yeah.
A 7-cost 4/3 weapon also damages minions next to whoever you're to attack.
2 гига обнова.
Well, we'll punch him. Turn 1 hero power punch.
Yep.
There we go. So this is a pretty interesting card. I mean, it was up on one of those slides that we saw before. Didn't have a chance to go over it. It's kind of like the Death Knight Warrior weapon.
Shadowmourne,
yeah. Obviously doesn't change your hero power like that does, but...
Особенно если Кель переживет один ход, там вообще можно такое аниме устроить.
Ooh, well, so we drew an outcast card. It's right there.
Да, и ты сейчас просто еще... Ты просто... Да играй карту! Потом ты ее не сыграешь.
Sounds good.
Boom, and then... Okay, so it's not quite like Twin Spell. It goes to the right of your hand, which is relevant for where your cards go is actually very relevant for Outcast. So that being something to keep in mind is important.
Ты сейчас будешь 2 часа просто ждать, чтобы сыграть Spectral Side.
I got a couple of souls already, and we're gonna make some more next turn. I feel like. So. We need to find something to do with all these souls.
У карты Ильдана будет новые реплики. Да, я думаю, сделают и реплики для этого самого, для... Ну, когда против друида будет выходить, и против тиранды. 100% уверен.
But I think I'm going to hold on to the weapon for now.
You can hold on to it.
Yeah, we're going to hold on to this and say go here.
You don't have another weapon that you're planning to equip soon.
I do here, but that's a ways out.
That's a ways down. But also, that's 7 mana. That's kind of clogging up your ability to outcast.
Можно найти здесь.
So, well, we're setting up. We're setting up. I mean, and this is even if I don't outcast, this is still just draw a card.
Draw a card.
Right?
Yep.
I want to outcast it because outcasting is cool.
Right.
Bone Wraith. All right. Oh, hello. Outcast. Draw a card. Here, I'll show the people who may have missed it earlier. Silence the enemy minion, outcast, draw a card. So this is the far right of my hand. Outcast. Boom. I draw the card. Ooh, what is this?
Blade Dance.
Deal your hero's damage equal to your attack to 3 random enemy minions. Huh. Well, I don't want to use that
it's like
now.
An AoE savagery, kind of.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
That's interesting.
But you have a lot of ways to buff your attack.
Right.
And that counts as a weapon too. So.
Yeah. Huh. That card seems very powerful.
Certainly can be.
Wow.
Руины Запределья.
Well.
Я надеюсь, они реально не Руины Запределья.
I think we're probably just gonna play the second site here because I don't think I want to do this.
Yep.
We'll play the second site. We'll just draw 1 card. That's fine. The Skull of Gul'dan, but it's not Outcast. No.
Well, it is right if you had the mana.
Right. I wish I drew this next turn. What was I doing?
Yeah.
All right.
Блин, метаморфоза, конечно, на этого.
We could kill it off with everything, but
yeah. I think I still just want to punch it for 2, and then these are gonna attack my opponent's face.
All right. And now I think we hope we draw some cheap stuff with our next couple draws, so we can get that Skull of Gul'dan.
Так, ладно, там какие-то дебилы у нас в паблике просто.
Oh, he's Galakron Rogue. Okay.
Руины, уже на ютубчике видос есть.
We do.
We can even just like blade dance these. Ooh, after hero attacks, gain
Руины
1
Запределья. Ну и название, блин.
О,
дадут скин. Скин шамана.
Not quite. Hopefully our next
play this guy.
90
hero power.
90 карт. 4 входа на арену. И еще какие-то бонусы для БГ. Ну, прикольно.
I mean, I probably could have done that, but this guy, attack, buff this guy. We might have been able to save that and use that better later, but...
Много всего. 4 входа на арену.
This guy, who I can keep growing.
Мелочь, но круто. Бать близы насыпали, конечно. Насыпали годноты просто забей.
One cost 2/2 that grows.
Это карта.
And in a class that can really easily grow it because you have the 1-cost hero power, all the weapons.
Эта карта мне напоминает вот этого челика, который был раньше, помните, когда охотник доминировал, был вот этот чел, который бафался от предсмертных хрипов. Вот это он же, только он уже сразу тебе забафанный дается.
Oh god. Boom.
That's good.
Boom.
That's good. All right, we are back in the game.
Oh yeah, so we just outcasted our Skull of Gul'dan, makes it less.
Метаморфоза.
Metamorphosis. Do we have the costume for me if I play this?
Интересно, герой поменяется или нет? Наверное, билка должна измениться, по идее. Сейчас посмотрим.
We have the warglaives on set.
We do.
All right. We'll say go here. All right.
Килтасика уже дали?
We've got this metamorphosis. We're good to go. And then this is the big one.
Да, Килтасика уже дали. Натиск драконов был лишь небольшим испытанием. Ля, обалдеж. Это видос пилить.
So this is a legendary spell, by the way.
It is, yes.
So you can only have one metamorphosis in your deck. Pretty interesting stuff. It's kind of like a delayed pyroblast.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so how do we want to deal with this?
I think what I want to do is hit him in the face. He's only at 18. He's playing rogue, right? And I have this metamorphosis, which is going to do 10 damage.
Certainly could.
So I could like Chaos Strike. Because I could leave this in play because I have this Chaos Nova, right?
Right.
I'm going to start with Chaos Strike.
Okay.
Boom. 2.
There's a...
Oh, okay. Well, I got to do this.
Well, okay, so we're going to draw 4 cards off that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cards.
Well, you can wait and draw more if you want, but I don't know if we need more.
I don't think I mean, I'm not going to be able to fit that many more cards.
It's fair.
All right, boom.
Я думаю, будут или
Serve your master, guys.
УМФ фразы.
Vengeance. Uh-oh, roping. Beast of Souls, draw 4. Oh my god, Beast of Souls.
Какая грязь.
Well, now we'll just, oh god, this punch for 5. Now let's take another look at
Какая
these.
грязь просто.
Outcast, immune this turn with Rush. The Wraith Spike Brute, 2/6 taunt after his attack, do 1. I don't think I'm going to be needing this. I'm the one attacking him this time. And then this one was one of the basic cards.
Yeah.
7/4 for 5. This is like
Get
Nightblade has been working out. Like this is Nightblade became a demon hunter. It's like, all right, I'm gonna. People have been mocking me for years, and now Warglave's on.
Oh,
Galakron. It's only a 2 invoked Galakron, not that big.
Да.
Okay. All right.
Что-то шок.
Okay.
Warblades. So, So my hero power still costs 1 when I switch?
Still costs 1.
Okay, so...
if you want to be able to attack this turn, you might want to need hero power first.
Well, I'm going to attack with this. And then, well, so this would be 2, then 1, and then 5 for this. I think...
But you haven't attacked with yet.
Oh, this is your attack, not damage. Oh,
yeah.
Good call. Good.
Yeah.
But I have Twin Slice.
You can use Twin Slice for
Boom.
that. Exactly.
All right, we'll get the 1 from Twin Slice.
Почему она обилку не нажал? Ну может быть мана не. Ну да, чтобы выстрелить сразу. Эта херня еще и в лицо кидает. О, ну это сразу занерфит. 7/4 просто чекайте, сразу понерфит. Обилка еще... Ты можешь выбрать, куда ее юзать.
I'm not gonna, finish this without using all the emotes.
Чё? Какая глина! Ну, нерфы будут, 100%, типа.
He still has some Galakron or
He does have 2 Galakron. Ooh, Kronks. Okay. All right.
Кстати, может затерпеть. Хотя нет, там... Он взял -5.
Arrow Cat.
Он сейчас просто с обилки его
Oh,
убьет.
he's got taunt now, though.
Okay.
All right.
А, нет. Там -4 есть.
Oh, wow. I'm at... So I am at...
I think
I can use Warglaves... I can Warglaves plus
Second
this.
slice.
Attack. Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
And this is the lethal off of Warglaves is just so perfect.
То есть на этой пушке нет сверхурона, ты можешь бить сколько хочешь просто по существам. Это такая тоже дичь. Просто посмотрите на эту хрень. И ей еще и в лицо можно пойти. Что это, блядь, такое?
World's best demon hunter right now. No one else can possibly top me, right?
Sure. Cannot.
Даже сверхурон не нужен просто.
That was awesome. We saw a lot of super cool cards, not only in this game, but throughout this entire stream. So,
обилка Рагнароса. Да нет, она даже не обилка Рагнароса, обилка Рагнароса рандомная, а тут ты выбираешь, куда стрелять.
Thank you very much to you at home for watching, and we will see you all in Outland.
Уф, чат, просто уф. То через месяц просто нахрен все понер. Жесть, жесть. Ну да, хотя бы новый класс не за деньги. Пиздец. Пойдем еще русский трейлер посмотрим. Жесть, чат, просто жесть. Пиздец. Ек В. Хартстоун.ру.
Добро пожаловать на...
Добро пожаловать нахуй. Угу. Охотник на демонов. Новый класс в Хартстоуне. Но сначала это посмотрим.
Тьма накрыла сад героев.
Кто идет, чеканя шаг? Кто отбрасывает тень чернее ночи? Пленник, что разбил оковы, по земле ступает снова. Видит все, отдав судьбе за это очи. Кто злодей всем ненавистный? Кто спаситель и изгой? Кто познал любовь, что горше всех печалей? Да, я тот, кто я есть. Страшной будет моя весть. Я герой, которого уже не ждали.
Кайф. А, вот его full арт. Ну такой, реально арт кажется, что я его где-то видел. Типа старый арт какой-то взял.
Дикие и...
О, голос Келя!
Запределья. Дикие и опасные земли.
Где нужно бороться за выживание.
Где нет справедливости. Лишь тьма и отчаяние.
А вы смеете вторгаться в мой мир? Вы не... Вообще-то я не это хотел сказать. Зря я научил тебя охоте на демонов.
Зря я научил тебя охоте на демонов, просто мурлык.
Previous owner was I.L. Ladan. I don't know who that could be. Okay, let's crack it open.
Коллекция закачки.
Ты хотел сказать?
Says Crystal.
Здесь просто карты на
Demon
русском.
hunters can use the...
Карты на русском, но озвучки нет, это мы все видели. Воу. Просто воу. Ну, все, собственно, подробно можно посмотреть у нас по блосе. Оплота Зенота. Жесть. Просто жесть. Кель — это вообще пушка. Так вкусно, так вкусно. Ебать, у Сомбр там делов. Тирон. Да, это, конечно, вообще карта. Убивает всех существ и призывает их с 1, ну, +1/+1. Плюс там могут быть какие-то предсмертные хрипы. Какие-то там доборы карт. Это же вообще просто топовая лего. На куньцзушку. Пипец. Это вообще какая-то дичь лютая просто. Жесть, жесть. Награда на БК, да пока непонятно. Ладно, ребят, пока стрим оффается. Может быть, еще увидимся сегодня, может быть, нет, поэтому Следите за пабликом и так далее. Мне, блядь, я не успел видос выложить, мне нужно его зарендерить, а там видос уже с такой не супер инфой, но да ладно. Ладно, до свидания, пока.